Tonight for dinner, we are having some lasagna that my mother-in-law brought over, but I thought maybe we could put a little bit of bread with it. So I decided to make some garlic focaccia bread. This came out so well, and focaccia bread is probably one of the easiest breads to make. The dough is really resilient. It's really forgiving because of how wet the dough is, and it's just really nice and easy. It is the perfect bread to make for summer because it's going to rise really quickly in your hot kitchen, and it's nice and crusty on the outside. It's nice and soft on the inside. I'm going to spread a little bit of margarine on this, and this is going to be fantastic with dinner. So the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to get all of our ingredients in our mixing bowl. And I am using my stand mixer, but you can definitely do this by hand or with a hand mixer. I'm adding in 1 3/4 cup of pretty warm water, but you don't want it to be too hot. If it's over 110 or 115 degrees, then you risk killing the yeast. I'm going to put in about 2 teaspoons of sugar, and then I'm going to put in an entire packet, which is 2 1/4 teaspoons or just 1/4 of an ounce of yeast. I've got instant yeast today, but you can use instant yeast or active dry yeast. The only difference is that active dry yeast takes a few minutes to rise, whereas instant yeast is instant. You don't have to do anything special to it. It'll just start working right away. So you don't have to let it bloom for 5 minutes in the water. So I'm just going to drop this in. And I'm just going to give this a tiny little bit of a mix. Because it's instant, I can already see that it's starting to foam up, which is exactly what we want. And I'm going to go ahead and add my flour in now. This is 500 grams of flour. I'm going to give this one more really rough mix with a fork, and then we're going to take this over to the stand mixer. So I've got my dough hook on my stand mixer here, and I'm just going to start this on really low, just until things are starting to get incorporated. We're going to let this go probably for 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll scrape down the sides and let it go for another 2 or 3 minutes. Everything's coming together pretty nicely, but I do just want to scrape down the edges, and I want to make sure I don't have any loose flour stuck at the bottom of my bowl. Doesn't look like I do. And this is a really sticky, really elastic dough. This is going to stay pretty sticky for the whole time, but that's all right. We're going to let it go on, I'm actually going to change it up to medium now, and we're going to let that go on medium for about 5 or 6 minutes. I know it looks pretty scary just letting it go like this. I know it looks too wet, and it looks like it's not going to turn into a dough, but we just have to kind of trust the process and trust that after the kneading, it will start to come together. I totally forgot to add my salt. I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of salt now so that it can mix into the dough before it's done kneading. It's only been about a minute, so I've got 3 or 4 more minutes to go before this is ready to come out of this bowl. So my dough is sticking to the sides of the bowl, which is perfect. And this is kind of exactly what we want. This is super sticky, it's super elastic. Just gonna scrape this off of the dough hook so we can kind of see what's going on here. It's still holding together. This is looking pretty good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and get this out of this bowl, and we are gonna let this rest on the counter for a little while. My mixing is done. This is ready to come out of this bowl. I'm going to add a pretty generous amount of olive oil into a separate bowl, and I want to make sure that it's really nicely coated. And then this is kind of the important part. Using a spatula, don't use your hands here. You can scrape everything out of this mixing bowl and put it into this olive oil bowl. And we're going to let it rise in here for probably an hour or 2, depending on the temperature of your kitchen, basically just until it's about doubled in size. And I've kind of just smoothed out the top. And then I've got quite a bit of olive oil starting to kind of fill up around the edges. I'm just going to kind of bring that in with my fingers a little bit. And you can use a brush or a spatula here, but I find that my fingers usually work pretty well for that. And you kind of just want to start to bring it all over the top of the dough. We don't need any of it pooling on the sides. There's no real harm in that, but it'd be a little bit better, keep the dough a little more hydrated if it's on the top. All right, I have most of that out. I'm going to cover this up with plastic wrap, and we're just going to let this sit on the counter. My kitchen is really, really hot, so I'm going to come check on it in about 30 minutes, but this could take anywhere from 30 minutes to 90 minutes, just depending on the temperature of your kitchen. I'm just going to put one layer of plastic wrap over this. You can use a damp towel if you've got a cloth. I just don't have any right now, so this is what I'm using instead. And I like to keep it pretty loose. I don't want to crimp it around the edges or anything. I'm just going to kind of let it rest, and I will be back in a little while to check on it. My dough has definitely doubled in size. It's been resting for a little under an hour. I'm just going to remove the plastic wrap. I'm going to put a little bit of oil on top. I just want to make sure that the top is really nicely coated and not too sticky to touch. And then I'm also going to kind of coat both of my hands and my pan with some olive oil. This is a 9 by 13 glass pan. I'm sure you can use an enamel or a non-stick pan here. This is just what I usually use. And then we're kind of going to take our dough. You want to make sure your hands are really nicely oiled for this, because you don't want this dough to just stick to your hands. You're going to kind of reach around the outside of the dough and fold it up onto itself. And we're just going to go around the bowl doing that. Your goal here is to kind of turn it into a dough ball that you can lift. And it's definitely starting to come away from the walls. It is much more solid than it was when it came in here. And then I am just going to lift it out of the bowl as nicely as I can and lay it into my baking dish. And I like to do this kind of a couple of times. I'm going to push it all the way out to the edges of the pan. And then once it relaxes back in, I'm going to do it 1 or 2 more times. I want it to kind of spread out and start to stay a little bit spread out. All right, I've stretched it out all the way. I'm going to let it sit just for, 30 seconds to a minute. This is not going to take long. I can see it's already starting to pull away from the corners again. And I'm just going to stretch it out one more time. And then we are almost to everybody's favorite part. I'm actually going to cover this with plastic wrap one more time, and we're going to let it rest for another 30 to 45 minutes. And then we are going to use our hands to make the indentations. All right, this is really nicely stretched out. I'm going to wash my hands, and I'm going to cover this with plastic wrap and let it sit for just a little while longer. And I am keeping this one pretty loose too. You could certainly use a damp towel here, just like you did the first time. Again, I just don't have one of those today, so I'm just going to lay some plastic wrap over the top of it. While my dough is doing its second rise, I thought it would be a good time to get started on my garlic flavoring. Since we're having this with lasagna, I thought it'd be really nice if this was kind of a garlic bread type of situation. This is a really big pan. I'm going to do a lot of garlic, but definitely use as much as you would normally like. Normally for something this big, recipes would probably recommend an entire head or an entire bulb of garlic, but I don't usually buy fresh garlic. I really like these bags of already peeled garlic cloves, And if I know I'm going to use it all pretty quickly, then I just keep it in my fridge. Otherwise, I keep it in my freezer. I like it at least a lot better than jarred garlic. And it's way easier than fresh garlic. I'm just cutting off the root on all of these, and then I'm going to give them a really fine mince. And then the way I mince garlic cloves, I don't like to spend a lot of time doing this. I like to kind of just smash it with the side of my knife and then kind of do a rough chop into strips and then a really fine mince from there. And then once you have a lot of it minced, you can kind of just rock your knife over back and forth until it's all really, really fine. It's definitely easier to smash once it's thawed, but it thaws really quickly. Just a few minutes out and they're already halfway defrosted. All right, this is all minced pretty finely. I don't want it to be so fine that it's a paste. I still really want these kind of pieces of garlic. So these are all pretty small. I don't see any big chunks in here. I'm gonna go ahead and just toast this in about 2 tablespoons of olive oil just to get a little bit of color on them. And I really want to infuse that garlic flavor in the oil. And then that's what we're gonna use to make the indentations on the bread. Into our pan, I'm just gonna add a couple tablespoons, I don't know, 3 or 4 tablespoons of olive oil. And I'm gonna turn this onto a really low heat. We're not frying anything, we're just kind of getting some of the garlic toasted. I'm just gonna add this straight in. And I'm gonna spread it out a little bit, but I'm kind of just gonna let it sit here for a couple of minutes and then I'll give it a mix. And we just want a tiny little bit of color, but really we're just looking to infuse the oil with that garlic flavor. This has been toasting for just 2 or 3 minutes. I've got a tiny little bit of color and my whole house smells absolutely incredible now. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this off, and I'm actually just gonna let this sit in the pan here for the entire resting time of the dough so that this can cool all the way back down, and then I will use it to make the indentations in the dough. My dough has doubled in size one more time. This has been going for about 30 minutes. If your kitchen's not as warm as mine, then this might take 45 minutes. My oven is preheating to 425 degrees, and we're gonna go ahead and add our garlic oil here. My garlic oil has come all the way down to room temperature. I'm gonna kind of just sprinkle some of this garlic on because I wanna make sure it's pretty evenly spread. And then I'm just gonna kind of pour the oil over the top. I'm gonna add a little bit more oil to my hands. And then this is everybody's favorite part. I just wanna make sure my fingertips are really nicely coated. We're kind of gonna go in and we're just gonna make some indentations. It's okay if things start to deflate. It will re-rise one more time in the oven. And I'm kind of going in and spreading these garlic pieces out a little bit more. And this is looking pretty good. I've got some nice bubbles coming up. And you really don't have to be gentle with this part. You kind of want to make sure you go all the way to the bottom of the pan. And that is it. I'm going to wash my hands and I'm going to throw this in my 425 degree oven. I'm going to check on it in about 25 minutes, but I've got a gas oven, so this might take a little closer to 40 minutes to bake, but I'm going to check on it on the 25-minute mark. If you've got an electric oven, I might check on it at the 20-minute mark and just see how it's doing. Our focaccia is done. This smells absolutely wonderful. It got a little extra brown on top, but it doesn't smell burnt at all, so I think it's probably fine. I am going to let this rest in this pan for as long as I can wait. but this smells so good, so I think I might have to cut into it a little bit early. I decided to move this to a wire rack so it could finish cooling. It's been sitting for about 5 or 6 minutes, but I am going to cut into this and see how it tastes. I'm so excited to try this. It is so warm. It's nice and crusty on the outside, and it looks so fluffy on the inside. Cheers. We've got just a little bit of that garlic coming through. That is really, really nice. I'm gonna try a little piece with some margarine. That is so good. This is perfect, perfect garlic bread. This is gonna go so well with the lasagna. I am so excited. I'm gonna let this cool down a little bit more because that was really hot. I'm gonna move it onto a cutting board and get it cut up into pieces so that we can have our dinner.